Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's text study. My name is Intern Pastor Teleen Saunders, and I will be preaching from the book of Proverbs, starting with the first chapter, verses 1 through 7. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. For learning about wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for gaining instruction in wise dealing, righteousness, justice, and equity, to teach shrewdness to the simple, knowledge and prudence to the young. Let the wise also hear and gain in learning, and the discerning acquire skill. To understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Let's talk a little bit about this Old Testament book. Proverbs, along with Ecclesiastes and Song of Solomon, are traditionally grouped together as the writings of King Solomon. However, it is widely held that King Solomon did not actually write these books himself. Instead, his fabled wisdom described in 1 Kings chapters 3 and 4 inspired these collected writings. Grouped together, there seems to be an interesting generational stretch to this part of the Bible. The steamy bedroom poems in the Song of Solomon reflect the mindset of a young lover. The practical advice of Proverbs center on the middle-aged realities of day-to-day life. And Ecclesiastes' deep retrospective insights of the limits and contradictions of life seem to come from the perspective of one who has lived many years. The book of Proverbs is also known as the quintessential book of wisdom in the Old Testament. Wisdom literature seeks to teach its readers, wisdom. That is, the ability to discern between wise and foolish living. This type of common sense instruction often sounds like advice handed down from a wise parent. The fundamental basis of wisdom, and a major theme of Proverbs, is a right relationship with God. As our reading says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. But what does it mean to fear the Lord? Don't we have a God of love? Catherine Schifferdecker from Luther Seminary says that at its most basic level, the fear of the Lord is the knowledge that God is God and we are not. When we are faced with the power that called the universe into being, that scattered the stars in space, and that sustains every moment of every day, our proper response is awe, reverence, and yes, even a healthy fear. I often compare this fear of God to fire. We know the power of fire, but it is also warm and quite necessary for life, especially here in Minnesota. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 31 says, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a loving God." It is the fear of the Lord that Mr. and Mrs. Beaver described to the children in the children's book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Aslan is a lion, the great lion. "Oh," said Susan, "I thought he was a man. Is he quite safe? I shall feel rather nervous about meeting a lion." "That you will, dearie, and make no mistake," said Mrs. Beaver. "If there's anyone who can appear before Aslan without their knees knocking, they're either braver than most or just plain silly." "Then he isn't safe?" said Lucy. "Safe," said Mr. Beaver, Who said anything about safe? Course he isn't safe, but he's good. He's the king, I tell you. The fear of the Lord, the fear of the God who created the universe, but who deigns to be in relationship with us, is the prerequisite for wisdom. Once we realize that there is something bigger than us, we find the strength to humble ourselves into growth. Such proper fear teaches us our place in the world and how to live well in it. That is the beginning of wisdom. Happy Independence Day, everybody. I'll see you on Sunday.